Good morning and welcome to the third edition of our Defence Industry Insights series, with this webinar focused on perhaps demystifying tendering in defence for you. My name is Judy Dennison and I'm the manager of the Defence Industry Facilitation Services team for the Centre for Defence Industry Capability, otherwise known as the CDIC. The CDIC was launched in December 2016 with its purpose to strengthen the capability of Australian businesses to meet defence's requirements. We do this by building a strong, sustainable, secure and globally competitive Australian defence industry, facilitating connections and engagements across defence and the Australian defence industry. The CDIC provides free facilitation and advisory services, a series of grant programs and a global supply chain program which provides export support. I'm very happy to welcome my guest panellists for this particular website. We have Roger Moore from the Department of Defence's Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group, otherwise known as CASG, and we also have Amanda McKinnell, a Defence Business Advisor with the CDIC. And once again, we have Alison Everett, a CDIC Defence Industry Facilitator who is also the moderator for today. She'll be having a look at all of your questions, so I urge that you keep her nice and busy throughout this entire webinar. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the CDIC, and perhaps more importantly, why we have the CDIC. You can read what our purpose is on the slide, but essentially, the CDIC is here to support you. And how do we do that? We help you navigate the defence market through our national network of defence industry facilitators and business advisors. We enable you to connect with other businesses as well as with defence. We can advise you on how to improve your competitiveness and access global markets. And we can also provide you some grants which may help you invest in your defence-related capabilities. We understand that the barriers you face are significant, and we acknowledge that defence can be a very demanding customer. But we can, however, help you understand where you might need to invest your time, how to position yourself for success, and we can provide you with it to access to a network of knowledge and relationships across defence industry. Defence is the largest procurement agency in the Commonwealth, and it is responsible for some of Australia's most complex procurement activities. Ultimately, the end user of your products and services are the servicemen and women of the Australian Defence Force, and the aim of defence procurement is to provide them with the best capability possible. The three services, as you may be aware, are the Royal Australian Navy, the Australian Army, and the Royal Australian Air Force. In addition to being the end users, the service chiefs of the Navy, Army, and Air Force and the head of Joint Capabilities Group are what we call the capability managers. In this role, these organisations tend to buy products and services in the areas of technical and consultative services, training providers, health services, logistics, and some innovation and minor capability projects. So now let's talk about some of the heavy hitters in the defence procurement area. The Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group, or CASG, its mission is to acquire, sustain and dispose of military or material equipment for the Australian Defence Force. The Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group is Australia's largest procurement agency and is the main procurement agency and project management organisation for defence capability. This organisation buys everything from fighter aircraft and submarines to tents and rations and all the services and equipment required to maintain these products. In 2018-19, CASG spent more than $14.7 billion, with $7.7 billion in acquisition of new capability and $6.3 billion in sustaining the military equipment, along with some investment in policy advice and management services. CASG also employed more than 5,000 people around 70 locations here in Australia and overseas. Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group consists of 5 domains: air, land, sea, joint, and business management. Of these, the first 4 will be of most interest to you as a potential supplier. Air. The air divisions are responsible for all acquisition and sustainment business conducted through the Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group's air domain. This includes Aerospace Systems Division, Helicopter Systems Division, and the Joint Strike Fighter Division. With land, it's responsible for acquiring and supporting designated land systems, including mounted combat vehicles, combat support vehicles, systems, small arms, direct fire weapons support, deployable health systems, and soldier combat equipment. This domain consists of two divisions, Land Systems Division and Armoured Vehicle Division. With Maritime, they're responsible for all acquisition and sustainment business conducted through the Capability Acquisition and Sustainment Group's Maritime Systems. The domain consists of three divisions, Maritime Systems Division, Ship Acquisitions Division, and, unsurprisingly, Submarine Division. Finally, let's have a little look at Joint Systems Division. The Joint Systems Division is responsible for acquiring, in many cases integrating, and then supporting communication systems, command and control systems, deployable network systems, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance and electronic warfare systems, satellites, and wide area surveillance systems and guided weapons and munitions. Another group of interest is the Estate and Infrastructure Group, which manages and sustains the defence estate of land, building and infrastructure. Its responsibilities include supporting the Australian Defence Force and the Department of Defence through the provision of personnel administration and related functions such as housing, financial and travel services, and contracts that provide catering, cleaning and infrastructure with ground maintenance services. If your business fits into this space, we recommend you review the Doing Business with EING booklet that is available on their webpage. This booklet outlines their area of responsibility, the current managing contracts they have in place, and contact details for those major contractors. The Chief Information Officer Group leads the integrated design, delivery, and sustained operation of Defence's single information environment in support of both the military and Department of Defence operations. The single information environment encompasses the information, computing and communications infrastructure of the Department of Defence, along with the management systems and the people that will deliver that infrastructure. The Joint Capabilities Group supports the services by providing a wide range of enabling capabilities, including logistics, support and services, health services, professional military education and training, and military legal services. This group is also responsible for progressing leading edge capabilities such as cyber, data link, and satellite communications. They also manage agreed joint projects and their sustainment to support joint capability requirements. The Defence Science and Technology Group conducts strategic research to identify high impact areas for defence and monitor emerging technologies to assess their potential impact on defence capability. It is responsible for the administration of the Next Generation Tech Fund and engages closely with industry and academia through partnership programs and procures research and scientific equipment. The Defence People Group is responsible for human resource management, Australian Defence Force recruitment, and learning and development. They procure recruitment and HR services primarily. So now you know who in Defence is going to approach the market. It's time to look at how Defence will approach the market. All government agencies, including Defence, are mandated to approach the market through the AusTender website. This website provides a centralised publication of Australian government business opportunities, annual procurement plans, standing offer notices, and multi-use lists and a register of awarded contracts. The platform can act as a strong market research and analysis tool for businesses assessing the defence market and looking for subcontracting opportunities. Some of the key features of the site includes approaches to market, contract notices, standing offers, and planned procurements. So let's have a first look at the approach to market, or the ATM. This is any notice inviting potential suppliers to participate in a procurement. This may include a request for information, expression of interest, request for proposal, request for tender, or a request for quote. Most defence opportunities will be released as an open ATM or approach to market. Project industry briefings are also published on AusTender and can allow businesses to identify where their capabilities may fit in large projects and identify potential primes. It's important for potential suppliers to understand the different methods of an approach to market. As we've said, these include things like the RFI, RFP, RFT, and RFQ. We'll have a look at the request for information first. RFIs are used to gain information in preparation for a request for proposal or a request for quote. Forming strategy or building a database with the purpose to identify potential vendors. It is often used when there are many potential suppliers. Procurement may use an RFI to include a list of products for pricing requests. Sometimes it is used also as a registration of interest. The next one is the expression of interest, or EOI. It's often useful for defence when the number of potential suppliers or the market size is largely unknown. An RFP, or a request for proposal, is a formal method of receiving a detailed and comparable proposal from potential suppliers. It is often the next stage of procurement process where defence will go to market for solutions-oriented approaches to service or product delivery. A request for tender, or an RFT, is that formal invitation to potential suppliers to bid to supply clearly defined products. It is focused on price and also on quality. And finally, we have the request for quotation, or the RFQ. This is used when inviting potential suppliers to submit a bid on specific products or projects. The request is targeted primarily on pricing. Searching through the current defence ATMs is as simple as clicking on the ATM tab and refining your search to defence. You will be presented with the current list of defence approaches to the market, irrespective of the group or division within defence. Just looking at a couple of the current approaches to market, you'll notice that in the ATM identification is a little bit of guidance on what type of response defence is after. In this case, we have an RFP, or a request for proposal, for Land 2097. And this is where defence has gone to market for a solutions-oriented approach for Phase 4 of the Special Operations Rotary Wing Capability Enhancement Program. We also have an RFT, or request for tender, for Land 907, which is again the formal invitation for potential suppliers to bid on an immersive tactical trainer for the Abrams M1A2. The next area of interest to you should be the standing offer panels. A standing offer is an arrangement setting out the terms and conditions, including a basis for pricing under which a supplier agrees to supply specified goods and services to defence for a specified period. Defence uses standing offers as a convenient, flexible, streamlined and efficient process for acquiring goods and services on a regular ongoing basis. Defence has quite a number of standing offer panels that look at a diverse range of, and has a range of panels looking at the purchase of, learning and development and professional service providers. This particular standing offer panel is known as the DSS panel, which provides defence support services. Even if a business is not currently on a standing offer panel, the standing offer notice view will provide you with some invaluable information. Firstly, you have the standing offer period. At the end of the time period for the standing offer, Defence will release a response for tender through the AusTender website, seeking responses from industry who would like to be considered for the next iteration of the panel. Secondly, you have access to the names of the current suppliers on that panel. In the case of the DSS panel, we have 565 suppliers. If your business is not currently on a panel, there may be an opportunity for you to approach them for a subcontract as part of your overall business development strategy. Now on to some of the resources that you can use on the AusTender website. The contract notices are reported on AusTender as a result of a contract being awarded by an Australian government agency. This can also be a valuable resource for those of you who have responded to a tender but may have been unsuccessful. All contract notices will display the details of the contract, including the contract period, value, and the supplier. This is especially valuable for you to ascertain whether your response was actually in the ballpark or not. And finally, we have planned procurements. This may be your most invaluable resource to better position your business for opportunities in the defence sector, or for that matter, with any federal government agency. Each government agency, including Defence, publishes an annual procurement plan on AusTender. The Planned Procurement tab will provide you with the opportunity to search for either a planned procurement or an agency annual procurement plan. The Defence Annual Procurement Plan will provide you with a wealth of information on any of the upcoming procurements for Defence. Accessing the plan is through the List by Agency tab and refining your search through to the Department of Defence. Then I would highly recommend downloading the spreadsheet as opposed to going through each item. The resulting spreadsheet will include a wealth of information for you, including the agency reference. This will provide you with a reference number that you can use to keep track of any procurements of interest to you. The description of the actual procurement. Some of the descriptions are a little more prescriptive than others, but will provide you with some sufficient guidance as to whether this procurement is aligned with your business product or your service offering. The category, in this case, building construction and support and maintenance and repair services. This may also help you refine categories that your business is interested in once you've registered with AusTender to receive tender updates specifically around that particular area of interest. The estimate date is the date that Defence is looking at actually approaching the market. As you can see, it is actually quite important that you continue to monitor selected procurements of interest to your business for any updates as to when Defence is going to actually approach the market. And perhaps most importantly, you are able to directly contact the documented points of interest regarding that particular planned procurement. This may be a direct contact, or in this case, it may be through the procurement cells of the actual overarching integrator or prime. Some hints and tips for you. Register your areas of interest on your profile and make sure that Defence is one of the agencies that you have expressed interest in. Keep it broad so that you can capture any potential opportunity, and remember that AusTender contract notices can be used to find subcontracting opportunities. Download the standing offer panels. Businesses that are interested in supplying Defence goods and services currently covered by a standing offer may be able to seek subcontracting opportunities through the current panellists whilst you wait for the panel to refresh. And considering that sustainment programs are typically long-term opportunities, check the AusTender records to identify the original equipment manufacturers or current sustainment contractors. You may also be able to find opportunities there. So we've gone through how Defence directly approaches the marketplace, but now we're going to have a look at how you can seek opportunities through the Defence prime contractors. Through the Industry Capability Network Gateway, many Defence prime contractors, including BAE Systems Australia, Lockheed Martin Australia, ASC, Rheinmetall Defence Australia, Boeing, Naval Group Australia, provide access to a raft of opportunities to support a wide range of major acquisition, sustainment and infrastructure programs. These include, but are definitely not limited to, C5000 Hunter-class frigate program, C1000 Future Submarine Program, Air 6500 Joint Battlefield Management and Integrated Air and Missile Defence System, and Defence Sector Construction and Redevelopment Programs. Amanda will talk a little bit further about the ICN Gateway later on. But in the meantime, the ICN Gateway provides access to potential suppliers to search for work packages. There is a raft of services that the ICN Gateway can provide potential suppliers. I do encourage that you reach out to the ICN Gateway to discuss any particular requirements that your business may have. But you can access current work packages by going straight to the website, scrolling down to the looking for work, and refine your search with Defence. This is just an example of the types of work packages available through the ICN Gateway. Potential suppliers are encouraged to search through available work packages and submit their expressions of interest on those packages that align with their specific product or service offering.